need to get me a body cam so I can start recording all my yard activities, gardening and de-weeding and things, but I'm gonna start now, even with my iPhone. What the hell, right? I actually have to pick out every one of these little, what they call helicopters. All these little seedlings. But it's all good. The joy of gardening. As they say. Much better. I'm not picking out all those little helicopters right now. Another time, another day. Cool little pond, except for it needs some major cleaning. That will be tomorrow. Power washing to do on the house and the items around the house, yard decor, whatever. I actually want to take out all these leafy green vines around this area and make it easier. Just put a rock bed here, clean up and keep the ponds that I have. I have 2 ponds. I actually wanted a bigger one out back, but I'm opting out because I'm going to be moving down to Florida sometime here soon. Now, I've been talking about this for several years, but this person I live with doesn't want to do that. Not really in a relationship with her, it's just kind of a mutual benefit thing. It's not a relationship, it's just a kind of a getting along with each other thing. It's more like me having to tolerate a narcissist. That's the truth of it. But everything I'm filming, I've built or planted, constructed in some way or another to this property. It was plain Jane, is about as plain as it can get. Nothing but a square box and a white siding, which is still the white siding, but everything here, even the fencing, all of this, bushes, plants, light, everything. Everything but that big old tree. Even the lawn, so much better. Flagpole with a Trump sign, Trump dance, all of it. Table, purchased that. I've noticed that as opposed to earlier this morning, that these flowers are starting to bloom out. The heads are starting to open up finally. I have two different types in here, only one of which are mainly flowering really nicely. Oh yeah, the palm trees, by the way, actual palm trees. I've been growing them in that 10-foot garage I have in there, actually more like 15 foot. Been growing that in there. But a nice garden. Things are really sprouting up nicely this year. Very nicely. Built wishing well, however, that needs to be stained up. A little bit of care done to it. This lilac bush I planted probably about 4 years ago, actually three to 4 years ago. It's got several lilacs on it this year. They only last for about a month, but boy, they're nice. They smell really nice. But this whole thing has gotten very, very large. And just got pretty much most of the yard taken care of, except for basic care. Trimming, mowing, weeding, or rather de-weeding. I'm trying to pull around this cart. I have to get a new one. The wheels are pretty shot. Planted these blueberry bushes this year. We had two different types. Well, we have the same type, but male and female. And this one here that I planted, I'd taken from the backyard that I'd planted 2 years ago. It was barely doing anything. And it's now starting to come back quite nicely. But stuck it up here with these ones to help along the lines of getting some bigger, fatter blueberries. They call honeyberry. That would actually take a few years to get very nice size. Built, I just put that bush there probably about 5 years ago. I said I just put it there, yeah. Built this fence around the hot tub. Hot tub is just a basic hot tub, nothing special. Built the frame around it, bought the hot tub part itself several years ago. It does need some work, some restaining. No big deal, I'm going to do that. It's already been used once already. Don't have a top for it, so I just keep a tarp over it. It would be nicer to talk without people going down the road in their loud ass vehicles like they feel like they're somebody. Makes them feel important, I guess. Room of room, zoom, zoom, zoom. Whatever. I did that stuff back in the day too, so what am I? Really not complaining, I'm just trying to record. So all that you see including the lawn. Except for back there, I have to mow. I have a riding lawnmower, zero turn, I have to repair. It's finances. Gazebo, same thing. It used to sit closer to the house. I had to push this thing over here. Have a bunch of morning glories trying to climb up. I have to put some more wire going up and down to give them something to wrap around. But yeah, this one's doing a lot nicer. But I still have to put some more wire on that as well. Make it climb nicely. Get all them flowers going. Starting to plant some different pieces, plants in this planter because I don't want to spend no more money. I'm going to be getting out of here. A little bit of cleanup to do, I see. Planted this bush here probably about 2 years ago with the ground crawler. Looks nice. Not too bad. Could be better. Raspberry bush I put in that bucket. It's going to be permanent here somewhere in the yard this year. Growing some catnip. Actually have a walnut tree started planting in there. It rooted. Planted it down waiting for it to come up. Been doing a lot of deadheading today. Try to get these things to flower out much better. Apparently I missed quite a bit. That's all right. Everything's coming along nicely. Everything will go my way this year, and I will be out of here this summer. At the end of the summer, rather. I have to bring some scissors out here and do some snipping. Rough hands. I gotta let my hands heal. Pruning and deadheading to do. Finally got flowers coming up in here. Beginning of summer, they should come along just nicely. Some rhubarb right here. That'll be getting planted permanently in the garden in the back. Built a makeshift garden way out back behind the fire pit. Right there. Had plastic all around it, as you can see on the right side of it right here. There's still a little bit of plastic left. But just behind that fire pit. Have to repair that birdhouse as well. Kitty condos will be taken out because one of my kitties passed and the other one stays with me in the house. Along with the other 14, 8 in the house. I think, is there 14? Let me think. 15. 15 cats total. 3 in the garage. Little gray back there who has her own little window. I might as well plug in this pond, the lights, that is. Not a bad little pond. Needs some cleanup. Try to get this plant to come back, and it will. Took a bit of a shock pulling it out of the garage too soon. Some work to do on his back porch. This is for the lights in the back. This is for a little tree. Decorative thing, whatever. Peach tree this year has gotten an abundance of peaches on it. I used to have this trellis right here completely chicken wired off, going over the top of this just to keep the blue jays from taking all the peaches for the first couple of years, actually the first 3 years. We would get probably, the first year I think we got 15 peaches. Next year we got probably about 20. Next year, third year is probably about 30 peaches. And yeah, we'll see what it's going to give this year. It looks like probably about 50, 60 of them. They won't all last. I'm reluctant to spray it. I don't like spraying. Looks like I might have to put a support on this thing. It's kind of leaning to the south. I don't want it dropping over, so I'm probably gonna have to put a support on this thing right down here. Seems to be leaning a bit too much. Very concerned about branches that are about to fall out of this tree. Dead branches. Right there, coming down. Just barely hanging up in there. I also want to cut this limb back all the way down. This limb right here, all the way up. A couple more over here. Take care of that one and a couple of other dead ones up there. This trellis right here that I ended up putting over here has black and red raspberry mixture canopying over this whole thing. This year there's an abundance, way more than ever on this tree. Not to mention it's a pollinator for bees and whatever other plants. Got a couple other babies back here. Little mama kitty, and right here, little tiny little girl, and Bristol Road, the gray and white. I call her Bristol Road. Her name was Bristol. Good kitties, very nice kitties. Yes, babies. Little sweetie pies. Little mama kitty. She's very timid. Little sweetie pie though. Yeah, kitties. There's a certain grass all these cats like. I'm gonna have to pick some and get them into them. Actually, there's some right here. They love this grass. There you go, babies. Chew it up. You don't want none, Bristol? There's plenty of it there. All right, sweeties. When I let them, certain cats run around outside, they choose that grass. They pick it out of all the rest, and they love eating it must be for parasites. Planted this weeping willow probably about 6 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago. Got it from Home Depot, local Home Depot. Barely 5 foot tall. Look at it now. Monstrous. The main stalk is just starting to show at the bottom because it was just several sprouts coming up. I planted it actually a little too deep. Nice tree though. Very thick. You won't buy this at Home Depot. Not this size. Very nice. Love this tree. A lot of pruning still to be done on it. Neighbors were complaining because they couldn't get through with their big ass tractor lawnmower. Instead of having a regular lawnmower, they could have a big guy that lives there's got to have a big ass fucking tractor. So this whole side I had to cut back just to keep him from whining. I've been starting to, it's going to come right back down again. But I've been starting to mow around this area myself so I don't have to deal with this strange ass. Was a huge ass tree right in that pile right there. Now they just use it to throw their debris in. They don't really do nothing with it. A lot of mushrooms growing in there. I don't know what kind of mushrooms, but I'm assuming they're probably not. They're probably poisonous. I don't really know. Hard to say. That's what it looks like underneath. So I wiped that off. Gonna have to wash my hands because I don't know. Put 2 water tanks here, rain catchers. Gotta clear this up. Get this stuff out of here. A lot of stuff's gotta come out of here. Was worse. Was far worse. And the garden. The one that this lady that lives here, if you can call her that, person that lives here, likes to call hers, although I constructed it myself several years ago. Didn't have the money to buy one, so I just took a bunch of rebar that I could afford and some chicken wire. And as I said, plastic. But I got the hoses ran that go all the way down in electrical that runs down, connected to this shed. I have a extension cord that comes out going to the garage. It runs clear across the yard. I'm not going to put no money into installing a underground line. It's not my property. So I've done all I'm going to do here. I'm just trying to get out of here and get down south and get my own property. So I'm waiting for a loan to come in to get a truck and trailer and build myself a tiny home, and I'm out of here. Strawberries all down here. Bunch of other vegetables, of course. I don't want to get through and name them all. All those lilies planted around the base of that tree, they look pretty nice every year. It's getting thicker and thicker, but not too shabby, not too bad. I would wager, oh yeah, that shed there. I built that shed probably about, well, I finished building it 2 years ago. Still needs a little touch up, but not bad. No help, built it myself. I could do better, much better. Put that outside grill over there because I thought we were gonna have a picnic table here. I thought it was gonna be a relationship. Turns out that I live with a freak narcissist. So, I mean, literally, the labels could go on and on. I'll end up selling this thing to the neighbor next door here who's been asking for it. But of course I've got to get it repaired. A couple small parts that need to be replaced. Actually, this switch right here and filter, gas filter, And there's another device that I can't remember the name of, but I know what it is. I have to replace that. So 3 minor things. One of the back wheels for the deck has to be welded back on, but it runs and goes perfect right now. Got to do work on this little extension roof that I put here. It's starting to rot at the edge. I never put any drip edge on there, and this is the end result of it. So I'm going to cut that back, put some drip edge on there, and this whole garage needs siding. Installed that door probably the 2nd year we were here. Been here about 14 years. We're having people stay here. I was having people live up in here. It's a nice sized room. It's a 6 by 8, I think, or 6 by 10. But not too bad. I have no quirks about getting out of here either. No problems, no nothing. Can't wait. There'll be a big old smile on my face, in fact, when I'm heading down that road with my truck and my camper and all these little cats that I take care of, my little fur babies that I take care of on a regular basis. Just installed the ceiling fan. Not too shabby. It's nice at night too with all the lighting on. Can't complain. A lot of trimming to do with these bushes around here. Tires to get rid of. Nice little cat house that I built for the outside kitties. Except it's got to be finished, needs some siding. A little staining. Not too shabby though. Not too bad at all. Some more little babies. Yes, gray. Big old gray. And the troublemaker, Q-Tip. And then Blackie, the nice one. Yes, nice kitties. I get along with this little Q-Tip one that's got a little white tip on the end of his tail. But I don't like that cat. He's aggressive, he's a troublemaker. Who's starting trouble? I hear you growling. I don't blame you, Gray, because them guys tend to start stuff with you. He's got this gray one here, is a very sweet kitty, except he's probably not going to be here too much longer because he's dealing with physical issues. He has urinary stones in his bladder. Actually, it's not stones, just one big stone. And he's going to be going through some stuff here. So yes, planted all this year. I wanted to go all out because I knew it was going to be my last year here. She's just going to end up selling the place. It's worth $100,000 now. She was supposed to be paying $30,000 for it, but she's down to $19,000, except for the loan that she's going to get against it to pay me off, basically, to get me out of here. She's such a freak. She wants to play like she's in a relationship with me. Really weird, very strange individual. She wants to play like she's in a relationship with me, calling me honey, and, you know, she always tries to, ever since I've known her, she tried to buy my love. Or not even love, she wants to buy my relationship with her. It's really strangest person I've ever met in my life. She's pretty gone, let me tell you. Mentally, she's gone. Comes from her upbringing. I'll tell the stories in later videos. But yeah, very strange person. Anyways, that's it for now. Peace out.